Hey friends, so I was just looking through all my files. I have it labeled on my computer as my hoard, and I thought I would just pop on and talk about how I store my files and what I have learned over the years of collecting said files. I love pretty things, so I have way too many files saved on my computer. Again, all of my files that I have collected over the years start out under the heading My Hoard. And then I have folders like 4th of July, the United States, arrows, baby, banners, frames, elements, beach, boat, and lake, birds, birthdays, parties, barbecue, cactuses, causes, chores, planners, charts, etc., etc. And then under each of those folders are the files that I've downloaded. I probably have 100 different folders, you know, all the holidays, and then farm animals, forest animals, papers and textures, and people and pet sayings, and religious and school and teachers and sea life and Arctic and sentiments, on and on and on. And so it has taken a long time to figure out all the folders, all the folder types that I wanted, like tea and coffee and food. And then to take the time to, when I download, make sure that I put each of the files into the proper folder. Because otherwise you end up with just chaos and it's not fun. Um, yes, and then marking them if you so choose as to whether you have commercial rights or POD. I've started putting, if it's a POD, as I'm downloading it, I just pop it at the front of the preloaded description. Sometimes I'll change the description, usually I don't. So that when I am searching, like, oh, I want this to be commercial or POD, it's listed there. So I don't have to question later what usage rights I have, which is really important, because if you're just downloading stuff and you're not sure, if you decide later or you currently sell the things that you create, you need to make sure that you have the rights, the proper rights to sell or print on demand those items. So labeling when you download what rights you have to those files can be very helpful. Next is the bundles, the big bundles that seem like such a great deal, and sometimes they are. However, a lot of them have a lengthy download process where they email you, or you get these pages, and then each page has a link, and then you click on the link, and then there's like 15, 20 more links, and then you need to download each one of those individually. And so that's quite a process, and keeping track of which one you've downloaded can be tricky, on top of the fact that, honestly, a lot of those bundles, I'm not going to use every single thing in them. So if you do decide to get a big bundle, I advise to go through it right when you download it and delete or folder the ones that just aren't your style, um, because they're just going to create clutter. And if you don't have a lot of storage, then you're wasting your storage on files that you're not going to use. So if you do decide to get a big bundle because it's a good deal for a few of the files that they're offering, then download it, unzip them if you need to, label them so you know what it is. and then get rid of the stuff you're not going to use. Fonts, big font bundles, again, do the same thing. And then fonts do require, generally, like with my silhouette, I have to open them up and then they get pulled in, and it's an extra step. And I have a ton of fonts in my silhouette program that I don't use. And some of them actually cause my software to stutter. And then I have to shut down and reopen. So big font bundles, honestly, I'm not sure that they're worth it, because you'll probably get a lot of fonts in there that you're not going to use, and then they're just sitting on they're taking up your storage. And yeah. Um, on that vein, freebies. So I've been trying to clear up my files, and I've been greedily gathering files for years. And I have noticed that a lot of the ones that I'm deleting say freebie. Now, when you download a file, it's not just the SVG or the PNG. It's also like their you know their graphics, and then their .ds store files, and there's a lot more than just the graphic that gets downloaded when you when you take those freebies. And not all freebies are worth it. Just because it's free does not mean you need it. I know a lot of you already understand that, but some of us don't. We're like, oh, it's free, and some of those free files, they're not great, or they're not something you're actually going to use. So just because it's free doesn't mean you should download it, and really make sure that if you do download it, it's something you love. I wasn't going to talk about this, but some of the Etsy files that I have downloaded are beautiful, but they're just an image. There's no cut lines. It's not an SVG, and I have to do a lot of work on the back end to try and make it a cut file. So also make sure when you're downloading files that it's going to perform the way you want it to, and that you're not just buying something that's going to create more work. And then subscriptions. So I have 2 subscriptions that I currently pay for. One of them is Silhouette, and then I've also purchased credits. So each month on the 29th, I pay, I don't know, like $10, I think, and then I get $150 in credits. I have been doing that for years, and I have so many Silhouette files. I love a good deal. I don't know that I use an eighth, a 16th of the files that I have downloaded over the years because of that credit. Um, it is a good deal. However, I feel like I have to spend it, and then I buy files that I have never again looked at. And then I have the Creative Fabrica subscription, and I've had that one for a while. And that website, honestly, they have continued to grow what they offer. When I first started with them, they did not have needlework, and now they have embroidery and knitting and crochet and cross stitch and quilting and sewing, which is fantastic. And right now they've got a pretty good deal on a subscription. I thought I was getting a heck of a deal at $9 a month, and now they've changed it to like $4 a month. I do have an affiliate link down in the comments, and this isn't me trying to promote them. It's not a sponsored video, but I do go to them quite often, and they have what I'm looking for, and it's commercial rights when you have the subscription, and then there are a lot of POD files. In fact, there's even a POD section. POD is print on demand. So what you could do is download these files and then upload them to Etsy. After some of them you have to alter, some of them you can print straight away, and then people just say, I want this, and then you print it and you mail it to them. So the POD files are amazing. They also have sublimation files. Anyways, subscriptions, if you're an active crafter, can make a lot of sense. If you're not, it seems like it's a good deal, but if you're not using what you're downloading, which is something I am guilty of and I'm hoping to change this year, then you're just wasting money and storage space on your computer. Um, so, I tend to jump from thing to thing pretty quickly, and I lose interest. And so I've got just an enormous library of files reflecting all the different things I thought I wanted to pursue. Um, and at some point I might loop around and use them again, but I have downloaded a lot of files that I'm never going to use, right? Either because it was free or it was in a bundle and I thought it was a good deal. So I know a lot of you are smarter than that, and you're not going to just download it because it's free or because it's a really good deal. But if you're a bit like me, um, just be a little bit more discerning about what you're downloading, because eventually you're going to end up with just a bunch of files that you don't use, and it's going to be hard to sort through to find what you really want. Anyways, I hope some of that was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love if you'd subscribe, click the notify or the like if any of this um, sounded useful to you. Also, do you have tips for me when it comes to file storage or where you get your files from? The Hungry JPEG is a great one, but I have to be careful there because they've got bundles, and that's probably where I've bought most of my bundles. Um, and then sometimes the internet has free files, just free files that you can download, which I should utilize more often. Okay, I hope you are safe, warm, and well, and that you are having the day you dreamed of. And I will talk to you soon.